Hi everyone. In this session we will demo how to handle pop-up windows in your web application. To demo it, we will use a UI flow on the absences module, which includes a pop-up window. It happens on the create absence flow. When we create a new absence, we have here a field that has a search window. So we will get here, we will press on the magnifying glass, it will open us this pop-up window. We will press the go button to get all the values. We will select the first one, close the window, and then get the output that was returned, the result that was returned from the search window. Okay. So how do we handle such a use case? We will start by opening a new scenario, and I will copy the first lines of UI flow to get into our starting point, the absences list, and we will continue from this point. So at this stage, I will start the recording process. I'll go create the absences button, get here into the create absence page, click on the magnifying glass, click on the go button, select the first result, click on the select button, and then I will add a store value command, which gets the data from this field to have it as an output parameters. I call it replaced by name. And I stop the recording and look at what on the recorded commands. So this was the point where we got to the page. And now I see here a command called select window. This command instructs the player to focus on the main window, on a specific window. Since the value here is null, it means focus on the main window. Actually, at this point, it's really redundant. We don't really need it. Sometimes the recorder adds it, but we can remove it from here. And the next, sorry, and the next command will be to click on the create absences button. Then we make sure that we got to the create absence page. We click on the magnifying glass. Actually, this was the one. Here we click on the field. It is redundant as well. We click here on the magnifying glass, and here starts the interesting part. Now you can see new commands that were recorded. This one is waiting for the LOV for the pop-up window to open. The pop-up window is called LOV window, is named LOV window by the application. We also have here a timeout of 30 seconds to wait for the window to open. And then we have the select window command, which tells the player to focus on the window. In this case, it did not record it properly. It focused on the main window again. We want to focus on the new open window, so we will fix it. We will take the name of the new open window and put it here. So now after we wait for the window to open, we instruct the player to focus on it. Then we click on the go button, select the line, click on the select button to close the window, and we store the value. And just to make sure that we are storing the value from the correct window, we will also copy this select window command, add it here, and explicitly say the playback to focus on the main window again, even though it will probably work without it, because once I'm closing the open window, it will automatically focus on the main window, but just to be on the safe side. And now we will try to run it and see what happens. And it worked for us. As you can see, it returned the name of the field, so everything worked fine. However, from previous experience, I know that if I try to upload this script into the service manager, it won't work well, because specifically on the EBS system, on the search window of the EBS system, there is an additional complexity which does not work out of the box on our player. If I'll open the window again and inspect its structure, I'll see that it has frames in it. It's not just a regular page. It also has frames inside the page. And to make it work in our Service Manager player as well, I need to add an additional command here telling the player to focus on the first frame. It only has one frame, but still I need to instruct the browser to focus on that first frame. So after selecting the window and focusing on the pop-up window, I'll add another new command called select frame. The value of the parameter would be index equals 0, which means focus on the first frame. If this window had few frames, the first frame would be the 0, would be with index 0, the second would be with index 1, etc. We only have one frame and I want to focus on the first one. So this will fix the issue. Let me try to run it again. And as I said, this is a specific case of the EBS system. Usually your LOV or pop-up window won't include any frames, so we won't need to add this instruction. But in case you have frame, this is the command to handle such a case. And it worked well, so I'll save it. Let me call it demo absences set replaced by. And I'll upload it to the Service Manager and see what happens. Okay, now it was created, and I'll run the service, and it worked well. As you see, it finished successfully, and it returned to us the value of the field. So just to wrap it up, let's go over again the new commands. So we started with getting, as usual, to our starting point. And once we got to the create absence window, we handled the pop-up window. We click on the magnifying glass which opened the window, and now we introduced a few new commands that handles windows and frames. The wait for pop-up is the command that opens, it's not opening, it's waiting for the window to be open with a timeout. The select window is the command that we are using to focus when we have multiple windows opened in our web application. If we are using the value null, it means focus on the main window, the first window. If we have multiple windows, then we need to, and we want to focus on a different window, we need to give it the name of the window. We will get it from the wait command that was captured by the recorder. If our page is constructed of frames, then we would need to add manually a new command called select frame that will focus the player on specific frame on the page. In our case, we only had one frame, so we focused on the first frame, which is index equals 0. And now we did whatever we wanted to do on the window. We clicked on the button that gets us the results. We selected the first line. We click on the button that closes the window. And then just to make sure we focused again on the main window using the value null, and we captured the value that was returned to the field. Thank you.